Welcome everybody. Thank you for coming. This week we're starting the construction of the Mishkan, Parashat Teruma. We're talking about all the different vessels, how do they build the Mishkan, from the Mizbeach, the Aron. Today we're going to focus on the Menorah and how the Menorah symbolizes and is the blueprint for our own neshamot. So we're going to start off with the Gemara Ta'anit. The Gemara says, Amar Rabbi Elazar, La'olam yireh adam atzmo, kilu kadosh ru betoch me'av. A person should always look at himself as if he has holiness within him. His inside is holy. And Rashi explains that since a person's intestines are holy, it's asur for a person to fast. A person not allowed to fast. Because by fasting, you're weakening your inside. And when you're weakening your inside, you're ruining something holy. And that's an Aveira. So Rashi says because of this, it's asur to fast. Now the Gemara asks, we all know when you fast, it's actually a mitzvah to fast. You become holy. That's why we have 5 fasts throughout the year. Fasting sometimes is holy. So how could Rabbi Elazar say that it's asur to fast? So the Gemara explains that it depends. If a person's able to tolerate the fasting, let's say he's nice and fat, usually fat people can tolerate the fasting more. So if he can tolerate the fast, then he's good. He's allowed to fast. But if you cannot tolerate the fast, then it's asur, because you're ruining your inside. When you're ruining yourself, you're making yourself not as healthy, you're making something kadosh and you're lowering it down. The question is, how could you make a differentiation? At the end of the day, even if you could tolerate the fast, it's still something that's going to ruin your system. You're still ruining something kadosh. We said that your inside is holy. And because your inside is holy, it's asur to fast. But we said if you can tolerate it, then it's no problem. So why does Rabbi Elazar make a differentiation between tolerating and not? So the Zera Shimshon answers that there's just explain a concept outside, there's something called hektish. Everyone heard about this? Hektish is when back then they used to have a Bet HaMikdash. They used to say this water bottle is holy. I'm going to donate it to the Bet HaMikdash. This book is holy. Now what happens to these stuff? These stuff are holy and you have to give it to the Bet HaMikdash. Am I allowed to, let's say, use the water bottle or use the knife that I made holy? Asur. It's called me'ilah. Remember this, right?
Can you replace it if you use it?
Can you replace it? So there's something called redeeming hektish. So there's all different halachot on this. But the main thing is that you're not allowed to use it. It's called asur bahana. It's forbidden to have benefit from it. Now something which, let's say you used it. Are you getting the avera right away or no? So it matters. There's 2 types of objects. You could have an axe. Let's say you made an axe holy. So an axe is something that wears out during time. So let's say I took a brand new axe, I made it holy, and then I went and I benefited from it. I chopped only 1 wood. That's it. The axe you could still return to Costco and they'll take it back. It's still brand new. So now this axe, even though I used it and it was holy, since I didn't depreciate its value, it's still worth the exact thing that it was before the hit as it now after the hit. Therefore, I didn't do the avera. But let's say it's jewelry. Let's say a diamond ring. Girl takes a diamond ring, she puts it on her finger. Or a necklace. So this thing is something that doesn't get worn out over time. You could have rings and necklaces for a very long time. So even that 1 second you put it on, even though it didn't get worn out, you did the avera of me'ilah. You used something holy. Because this thing is not meant to be worn out. So he explains the same concept applies to our bodies. Obviously, our stomach, our intestines are something that gets worn out over time. That's how people die. So if you're going to ruin your stomach, ruin that thing that's holy, then you're going to get the avera of me'ilah, which is using something holy and making it go down. But if you're able to tolerate the fasting, it's like using the axe, just that 1 strike on the axe, you didn't get any avera. And if anything, when you fast, you become kadosh. Because shu domeh lemalachei hasharet. He becomes like the angels of Hashem. Angels of Hashem don't eat. Since they don't eat, they're holy. So when you fast, you also become holy. So we see from this whole entire thing that a person, his goof, his body, has holiness within it. You are kadosh. Now within every single person, there's a neshama. The neshama is the holy inside the holy body. It's called Kodesh Kodashim. What else was called Kodesh Kodashim? The Menorah and the Beit HaMikdash. Rashi says the Menorah and the Beit HaMikdash was the holiest of the holiest kelim. It was the top vessel. It was holy, and it was inside the Mishkan, which was also holy. It's also called Kodesh Kodashim. And the Zera Shimshon makes a link between the Menorah and the neshama of a person. He says all the little small intricacies and the details in the Menorah, every single thing right now we're going to go through, we're going to see how everything is defining and telling us secrets behind our own neshamot. So we're going to go through right now through the construction and the structure of the Menorah. And these little things people doing Shai Mikra, you don't even realize this has this flower and this tall and this how many cups. We don't even realize these stuff, but there's so much hidden meaning behind this that we're going to see right now. So the Parashat of the Menorah starts like this. It says, V'asita menorat zahav tahor. It says, make the Menorah of pure gold. Obviously, we all know the Menorah was made of a block of gold.
One block, right?
One block. So I brought this book, has some nice pictures, so people could visualize and see it. So you see this block over here? They took a nice block and they made it like this. They hammered it down. So you imagine this huge block of gold and you just and you're hammering it down and you're creating the menorah. Now why is it made of pure gold? Why is it made of pure gold? Because gold is something that the world is not worthy of using. The Midrash says gold is above this world. It's not made for this world. So too the neshama, which is also pure, is not worthy of this world. Meaning, not that the neshama is not worthy, but the body is not worthy of having the neshama inside of it. We're earthly bodies. We're gashmias. The neshama, which is holy, which is pure, doesn't deserve to be in such a vessel. So it's the same similarity. Gold, the world is not worthy of having the gold. So too the body is not worthy of having the neshama, and yet Hashem gives it to us. Next it says Mikshat Ta'aseh Menorah Yerecha V'Kana. Like we explained, the menorah has to be hammered down. From this big block, you got to hammer it. What does this show about our neshamot? We're saying the menorah and the neshama are linked. Whatever the menorah is, that's what the neshama is. So if the menorah has to be hammered down, so too your neshama has to be hammered down. We're in this world not to live life, go to vacation, just enjoy and relax. We're here to toil. We're here in this world, like it says in Eov, Adam le'amal yulad. What does it mean? It means a person was born to toil. You're here in this world, and the only way you're going to receive the reward in this world and the next world is only if you put the most effort you could. Ben bi'iskei guf ve'iskei olam hazeh. Not just in spirituality, but you want to make money in business. If you're going to sit at home and do nothing, or only work for 10 hours a week, you're not going to make money. You're not going to get anything done. A person that wants to have success in life, whether it be in the physicalities or in the spirituality, he has to put the hard work. And he has to go through those hammers and those difficult times, because otherwise he's never going to reach success. And this is why the menorah had to be made from one block and hammered down. Hakohu miksha. The Gemara Megillah, everyone probably learned this, it says, Lo yagati umatzati al ta'amen.
Would it have been easier if they would have used multiple blocks?
Use multiple 100%. Take one big block, and you're making all these designs on the block also. It's very hard. Just glue it on.
Oh.
So we're saying, Lo yagati matzati al ta'amen. If someone says, I succeeded in life, but I didn't try, it just came to me, don't believe the guy. He's a liar. Says the Gemara, he's a liar. There's no one who got success without working hard. And that is the lesson we see from the menorah. Continuing on, the menorah was made with 3 ornaments. It wasn't just like a smooth thing. There was designs and moldings, and there was 3 things that went through it. Gevi'ah, kaftoreh, uparachea. Cups, knobs, and blossoms. Now you probably don't understand what I'm saying. So, another picture. See these? These are the cups. Like this. We're going to see where they were put in the menorah. These are the cups of the menorah. These are the goblets. Sorry. These are the cups. These are the knobs. And these are the blossoms, the flowers. And we're going to see right now how each one of them represented something else. What's the point of making these designs in the menorah? What was the purpose? What's its significance? So says the Zera Shimshon, he brings down from Midrash. We all know the Daled Minim on Sukkot. What are the Daled Minim? Etrog, Lulav, Hadassim and Aravot. The Etrog represents, there's 4 types of Jews. The first group of Jews, they keep the Torah, they keep the mitzvot, they do everything amazing. Who are they compared to? Etrog. Why? Because the Etrog has Reach and it has
Taste.
Tam. It has taste and it has smell. So since it has both qualities, that's the person who keeps both the Torah and the mitzvot. Next is the Hadas. Hadas only has smell. Just has smell. There's no taste to it. So this is the person who has the mitzvot, but they don't have the Torah. Sorry, they have the Torah, but they don't have the mitzvot. Number 3 is the lulav. The lulav comes from a date tree. Date trees have dates that have taste, but there's no smell to a date. Apparently, I don't know that. There's no smell to a date.
Lulav comes from a date tree?
Lulav comes from, it's like a palm tree, yeah. And dates come from palm trees. So, the dates only have taste, but no smell. So this represents the Torah. This represents people who just have Torah, but they don't have any mitzvot. Sorry, just the opposite. It's kind of hard to remember this stuff. It has the mitzvot, but there's no Torah. And last is the Aravot. Aravot don't have the taste, and they don't have the smell. They're lacking anything. These are the people who we call them Amaretz. They don't have Torah, they don't have mitzvot, they don't do anything. These are the 4 civilizations, 4 types and categories of Jewish people. These 3 ornaments that we spoke about down in the Menorah also represent 3 out of the 4 groups. So the first one is Hakatu Gevi'im Dahainu Otam Sheyesh B'hem Torah V'lo Mitzvot. The cups correspond to the people who have Torah, but no mitzvot. A cup, on the Menorah, there was 22 cups. How many letters are in the alphabet? 22 letters. The cup is representing the Jewish people that have the Torah, but no mitzvot. They exceed in Torah, but they have no mitzvot. And it's hinted to in the Menorah by having 22 cups. So remember, the cups are people with the Torah.
That was 22. 8, no?
There's 22 cups. We're going to see. We're going to count right now. There's going to be 22 cups. Then we have kaftorim. Dahainu tapuchim sheyesh bahem tam v'reach. Number 2 are the knobs. The knobs looked like apples. If you look at it closely, it actually looks like an apple. So it looked like an apple. That's what the Gemara Menachot says. Apples both have taste and smell. So this is representing the people with Torah and the people with mitzvot. That's the knobs. And number 3 are the prachim, the blossoms. Blossoms obviously represent flowers. Flowers only have the smell, but they have no taste. This represents the people who have the mitzvot, but they have no Torah study. So now each one of these 3 groups have a positive inside of them. Right? You either just have Torah, mitzvot, have both. So therefore they are put onto the menorah as the designs in the menorah. The knobs, the cups, the flowers. But the 4th group is fully out. Because the 4th group has no positive inside of them. They have no mitzvot, and they also lack in Torah. So therefore there was only 3 designs onto the mizbeach, onto the menorah, my bad. Now he speaks out that there's 6 basic traits that humans have. 6 human traits. 3 come from the angels, and 3 come from the animals. What are the 3 angel traits? So number 1, the first one is, angels, they walk straight. They walk straight. So humans also walk straight, right? All the animals are slouched down. We walk straight like an angel. Number 2, we talk in Lashon HaKodesh. We talk the same language as the angels. They talk in Hebrew, we talk in Hebrew. And number 3, the angels also, they have dat. They have intellect, they have brains. A cow doesn't have a brain. We humans have intellect. We're able to think, know what's good, know what's bad. So these are the 3 traits that correspond to the malachim. What are the 3 traits that correspond to the animals, to the behemoth? We have to eat and drink like a behemoth. We have to use the bathroom like a behemoth. And we have to procreate. We have to have kids also like animals. So in all there's 6. 3 from this side, 3 from that side. So now when you have 3 on the right, we had 6 branches, right, in the menorah. There was the one in the middle, the stem in the middle. And then from the middle stem, there was 3 to the right and 3 to the left. So the 3 to the right represented the 3 angelic traits, the 3 peulot that we have like melachim, the 3 ways we act like angels, and the left side of the menorah were the 3 ways that we act like animals. Those are the animalistic traits. Now the middle one, the middle pole, the 7th one, the one in the middle, is the foundation. Which one is that? What does that represent? It represents our neshama. Our neshama is what gives us life. Our neshama is what holds together. Without the neshama, you wouldn't be able to be a human. You're not alive. So in order to have these 6 traits, 6 ways that we act, we have to have the neshama in the middle. In order to maintain the neshama, we have to have osek ba Torah mitzvot. We have to always be doing Torah and mitzvot. Without Torah and mitzvot, we don't have a life. So this is what the menorah was telling us with the 7 branches. Now we said the 3 to the right are the what's his names? Are the malachim trait, and the 3 to the left are for the animal traits. Now every single branch in the menorah had 3 cups, 1 knob, and 1 flower. Okay? 3 cups, 1 knob, and 1 flower. So if you see here, you can pass it around. There's 3 cups over here, 1 knob, and a flower. See that on every top one. Here, take it. On each top of the branch, there's 3 cups like that, stacked up like a design. Then there's a knob. Then there's a flower.
Where's the 4th cup? It's supposed to be 22 cups.
So if you count up all the cups, there's 3 on each branch, on the 6 branches.
18.
So it's 3 times 6 is 18. And the middle one we're gonna say is 4.
4.
We're gonna see what the symbolization of the 4 in the middle is. So now it's 22, representing the 22 of the alphabet, 22 letters of the alphabet. So now why is there on each branch a knob, 3 cups, and a flower? So like we said, each branch is another way that a human acts. So we're trying to instill the positive traits of each one of those 3 groups that the ornaments represented, like we explained, and we're instilling it in every single one of the human traits. Now why is there 3 cups? Cups represent the Torah, right? Like we explained. The people with just the Torah. Mm-hmm. So why is there 3 cups? Everything else there's 1, but the cups there's 3. Because we know there's a famous Gemara in Kedushin. When a person learns, how does he split up his day? 3 Siddharim. A third for Tanakh, third for Psukim, third for Mishnayot, and a third for Gemara. You have to split it up in 3. Third for Pasuk, third for Mishnah, and a third for Gemara. Now you're going to ask me, we don't do that. If you learn Gemara, inside the Gemara, there's Psukim. Inside the Gemara there's Mishnayot. Inside the Gemara there's Gemara. So you get all 3. So as long as you learn Gemara every day, you're good. So that's why there was 3 cups. The 3 cups were symbolizing the 3 parts of the Torah you're supposed to learn. Now Zera Shimshon gives another pshat, this is a little more deeper. There's 4 ways to learn Torah. There's 4 ways to interpret the Torah. It's called Pardes, that's the acronym. What does it stand for? Pshat, Remez, Derush, and Sod. So the 3 cups on the 6 branches, which represent the human traits, each have 3 cups, which is the representation of the first 3 ways to learn Torah. Pshat is the basic meaning. Remez is the allusions that you can bring out from the Psukim, the Gematriot, and all the different types of stuff. Derush is like, I don't really know the English translation, but it's like the nice stuff, the stories, what we learn out from this, or we learn out from that.
Derivations could be more.
I don't know. I'm not so good with these English stuff. So these 3 stuff were the 3 cups. No, but the 6 only had 3 cups. So those only had the basic. These are the basic ways. This is what me, you, and everyone here learns. We only learned the 3 basic ways. Basic meaning, Derush, and Remez. So they, on the human side, only had 3. But when you get to the middle pole, like we said, there's 4 cups. The 4 cups represented the neshama, like we said, is the middle pole. The neshama is able to understand the 4th level of Torah. What is that? The Sod, the Kabbalah. Is able to learn the secrets of the Torah. How do you open up the secrets of the Torah? You have to learn how to get intact with your neshama. You have to be pure, you have to be holy. And this is what the middle pole in the menorah was telling us. That the neshama is the only way you could reach the deepest meaning of the Torah, which is the Sod. And that opens up Pardes, the 4 interpretations of the Torah. V'kaftor tachat shnei akanim mimena. Now it says, a knob shall be under 2 of the branches from it. Now if you look at the picture, each one of the branches are connected. So the three on this side connect to the three on this side. They all stem from the same point. So over here, they stem 1, 2, 3. See that? So since they all stem from the same point, it's coming to link the animalistic traits to the angelic traits. The three on the right are connected to the three on the left. How are you, Johnny? So like this. The first one on the left is connected to the first one on the right. The second one on the left is connected one to the second one on the right. And the third to the third. And now the Zera Shimshon goes and tells us the connection between each one. So what was the first animalistic trait? What do we say? Eating, exactly. Eating and drinking. In order to balance out eating and drinking in this world, Hashem said, Yesh behem dat ke malachi hasharet. He said, I'm going to give you intellect, a brain, like a malach. When you eat and drink all the time, your brain, you become dumber. It's a known fact. When you eat so much and drink so much, you lose dat. So Hashem gave us intellect to beat the eating and drinking and to basically overpower it. So it's balanced out. The achila and the shtiyah is balanced keneged the dat. Number 2, keneged parim veravim. The second animalistic trait is having kids, procreating. So this is connected in the menorah. Remember, the second branch on the left is connected to the second branch on the right from the middle pole. So what's balancing out getting married and having kids? What's going to balance it out? That is going to be walking up straight. Why is walking straight balancing having kids? Because when a person has kids, says the Midrash, Nasa Adam Isha Harehu Kachamor. A person who gets married is like a donkey. He's like a donkey. He becomes like a donkey. Why does he become like a donkey? Because now when he has a family, he's going to have kids. And when he has kids, he's going to have to work. He's going to have to work hard. He's going to have to, the Lashon he uses is Lavodu Masala Vilachmo. He's going to have to work and haul like a donkey in order to bring food to the table. So you're going to get married, you're going to be stooped over like a donkey, having to work for your wife and work for your kids. So therefore Hashem had to balance that by making a person walk straight. So even though you're working hard, you're still going to be walking up straight. And this is how he balances out the animalistic trait of having kids with the angelic trait of walking up straight. Walking up straight. Okay. Number 3, Keneged Motzim Rei. How do we balance out the thing that we have to go to the bathroom? That's an animalistic trait. So we balance it out with Misaprim B'Lashon. What?
When we used to eat the man, nobody had to use the bathroom.
Why?
It was pure. It was not like what we have right now.
Exactly, because we weren't eating the physical food. Yes. So number 3, we had to use the bathroom. A person has to use the bathroom. When you go inside, you're not allowed to speak Divrei Torah, right? But what you're allowed to speak, many people probably have this question. How is a person who speaks Hebrew allowed to speak Hebrew in the bathroom? So you're allowed to. As long as you're not speaking in Torah, you're allowed to speak in Lashon HaKodesh. You're allowed to speak the holy tongue. So this is how we balance out the bathroom with Lashon HaKodesh.
As long as you're not what?
I mean, as long as you're not speaking Torah.
I got it.
You're just speaking mundane talk. No problem. So this is how Hashem connected the 3 animalistic traits, and He balanced it out with the ways that we are like Malachim, and that's why they're all connected at 3 points in the middle. Now, while you connect it at 3 points, the Torah says they have to be connected with a knob. Again, if we look at the picture, you see there's a knob over here. The middle thing is a knob. Okay? These knobs, what do we say they represent? What do they look like?
Apples.
They look like apples. What do apples have?
Smell and taste.
Smell and taste. What smell and taste? Torah mitzvot. So it's trying to tell us that in every action a person takes in his life, in every way he behaves, whether it be in the physicalities like the animals, or in the spirituality like the malachim, he must instill Torah and mitzvot into his ways. Now we're going to go through each of the 6 ways. When you eat and drink, is there Torah that comes with it?
Of course.
100%. Every time you sit down on a meal, especially when you have 3 people sitting, what do you have to do? You got to speak in Divrei Torah. You have to speak words of Torah. It doesn't have to be a whole shiur. It could just be, okay, oh, you heard about this, you heard about the Parsha, I heard this Rashi, the Gemara I'm learning. You speak about whatever. Otherwise, what does Pirkei Avot say?
Serving idols.
It's like you're serving idols. So, When you're sitting down to a meal, what do? You got to talk in divrei Torah. And where's the mitzvot aspect in eating and drinking? Lots of mitzvot. You got to wash your hands before you eat bread. You got to say brachot, birkat hamazon, milk and meat. You can't mix it together. Lots of halachot that come with eating and drinking. So we see in our everyday lives, when we're eating and drinking, we're doing achila and shtiyah, we have to instill in it also Torah mitzvot. That's why Hashem connected it with the knob. He connected it with the apple, which was the Torah mitzvot. Number 2, dat. What's dat? Intellect. When a person's thinking, he has to use his thoughts for Torah. Not think about shtuyot. You have to always be thinking about Torah, thinking about how you want to serve Hashem. You know, there's certain mitzvot, according to the Shar B'tachon says, in Chavot Levavot, Shar Cheshbon, he says that a person can only fulfill this when in his thoughts. What is this? Yirat Shamayim, Ahavat Hashem, loving God, fearing God, Bitachon. All of these things are not actions. These things are in the mind. There's many mitzvot we're doing that are in our mind. When we're learning Torah, a lot of times you're learning Torah in your mind. You're not even speaking out the words. So all of these in your everyday dat life, when you're having intellect, you have to use your brains for the Torah. Number 3, Pirya or Riviyah. Tzarich lechasho b'divrei Torah, ki bazeh yesh sod gadol. So he says, when you're having kids, you're supposed to be thinking of Torah. He says there's a very big, apparently sod into this, very big secrets behind it. He doesn't say the secrets, but he says you're supposed to be thinking of Torah. And where is the mitzvot? The mitzvot are obviously tarat mishpacha. You have to keep the right laws, nidah, this, that, and these are the Torah mitzvot that are even in our everyday procreation lives. In the lives of just having kids, there's many mitzvot and Torah that comes with it. Number 4 is v'chem behilucho. Tzarich shelo la'alech arba'a amo b'lo Torah b'lo mitzvot. The angelic trait of walking straight. We know you're not allowed to walk dalit amot without Torah. Everywhere you walk, you have to be thinking, what am I doing with my life? You have to be thinking, I have to either learn Torah or contemplate in your brain, where are you standing? What are you doing wrong? Do I have to fix certain traits? People just go out through their days and they just don't think. They go to work, they come back home, they eat, they sleep, they learn a little bit, but they don't contemplate. They don't think about the Torah while they're walking. You have to think about how I can fix my life. So this is how we instill Torah mitzvot into even our walking. Number 5 is, we said, using the bathroom. Animals use the bathroom. We also use the bathroom. How do you have Torah mitzvot in the bathroom? I thought you're not allowed to think of Torah in the bathroom. So, there's 2 exceptions. Anyone know the 2 exceptions? No one knows the 2 exceptions.
Where there's a smell?
Johnny, you probably have this a lot. What are the 2 exceptions?
What?
That you could think about Torah in the bathroom.
When you're wiping the right way.
Oh, you're saying halachot of the bathroom, okay? That he doesn't say. That's a chiddush. That's what we're going to say. Wow, that's good.
Say it.
That he doesn't say. That you could think about the halachot that pertain to the bathroom. That what you have to do over there. So the one of them, he says, is to stop someone else from sitting. Let's say you go to the bathroom and it's on a Shabbat. Some guy's about to turn on the lights. It's a public bathroom. He's about to turn on the lights. You tell him, oh, you can't turn on the lights. It's Shabbat. How do you just say that? It says halacha in the bathroom. So it's allowed.
In the bathroom.
Well, what?
Shabbat is in the bathroom.
Yes, so also, because you're stopping a person from sinning. So this is the first way. And the second way is when you have sinful thoughts. When you have sinful thoughts in the bathroom, you're allowed to think of Torah to eliminate those thoughts. So Johnny added a 3rd thing to the list, but we'll keep with the 2 he just says here, okay?
I like that. That was
good. That's very good.
Thinking,
Yeah.
I was thinking the first thing about that.
Get my speaker on this today, actually.
So these are the
Next.
these are the
10
headers.
minutes today.
These are the headers that the Magen Avraham brings down in Shulchan Aruch, and he says you're able to think about Torah in the bathroom in these 2 situations: either when you have sinful thoughts, or when it pertains to stopping someone from sinning, and you could say the halacha. And number 6 is Lashon HaKodesh. The 6th thing that we have to instill Torah mitzvot is when you speak Torah mitzvot. Speak in Hebrew. Apparently, when you speak in Hebrew, you're doing a mitzvah to be maskir divrei Torah, to speak the language of the Torah. Now, I don't know if this means modern Hebrew. I don't know if it means just Lashon HaKodesh. There's differences, but basically speaking in the holy language, you get a Torah mitzvot every second. Now, nimtzu chamisha kaftorim megufa shemenorah. Now, if we look at the base, that middle pole in the menorah, you're going to see that there's 5 knobs. We said knobs are the most significant ornament. Why? Because they represent Torah and mitzvot. They look like apples, they have smell and taste. What are the 5 representing? So there's 5 parts to your neshama. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chaya, and Yechidah. These 5 parts are in the middle pole of the menorah, and they represent the 5 parts of your neshama. Lefisha kaftor romez limu v'kiyum mitzvot lekach ba'u shem chamisha sheyoter chashuv shebekulam. And they're represented through the knob, because the knob was the most important ornament. Now there was also 3 flowers, 3 blossom designs. What do the blossoms represent? So they represent the 3 things that the world stands on. What are the 3 things the world stands on? What do you say? So close.
Chesed.
Chesed,
Gemilut Chesed.
Gemilut Chasadim, and Torah. What he said. But there's another one. Not everyone knows this one. Al Hadin, Al Ha'emet, Al Shalom. On justice, truth, and peace. These 3 things are what the world stands on. The other one is another Mishnah. The Mishnah says also Torah, Avodah, and Gemilut Chasadim. Torah, serving God, and doing kindness for others. So over here, when it says Torah, it's referring to the mitzvot. It's referring to actually performing what the Torah wants you to perform. And that's what the blossoms symbolize. The blossoms, the flowers, like we said, they're like the hadassim. They only have the smell, but they have no taste. Meaning it's the person that only has the mitzvot, but has no Torah. So the blossoms are representing the mitzvot, that performance of mitzvot. That's why it's found in the middle of the menorah. Then we have kaftorem ukrotam mimenu yiyu. It says their knobs and their branches have to be hammered from the menorah. Remember that big block? Everything has to, even the little designs. It's crazy how they make from this big block of gold a very intricate menorah with all these designs and flowers and blossoms that you just have to make from this block. And everything has to be hammered through there. Now why does it have to specify? If it says hammer the menorah, why is it specifying the knobs and the base? It says the knobs and the base, and the branches, sorry. Because it's coming to say, the branches are the actions of humans. The branches represent, like we said, the traits, the 3 angelic traits, and the 3 animalistic traits. Everything you do in life has to be with work. We said the knobs represent Torah mitzvot. They also have to be with work. And it says it has to be all hammered in. You are kol Hashem Shamayim l'tovat neshama. It's saying everything has to be gold and hammered in. Meaning everything you do in life has to be l'shem shamayim. Whether it be when you go to business, when you're cutting people's hair and you're selling watches, everything you're doing, you're saying, I'm doing it for Hashem. Hashem wants me to go work, I'm going to work. That's it. Hashem wants me to come and learn, I'm going to go learn. You do when you're supposed to do it, when you're supposed to do it. Physicalities and the spirituality. V'kula miksha achat. Everything should be one single hammered piece. Every single thing you do in your life, you have to mix it in. You have to see, what's my goal in life? My goal in life, like the Gemara in Sukkah says, Tzadikim ein lahem elev echad avim shemashamayim. Their single desire is to fulfill whatever their Father in heaven wants. When you go to sleep, why do you go to sleep? Why do you go to sleep?
More energy to do
So you have more energy to serve Hashem the next day. When you go to sleep and you say, I want to wake up earlier to go to Shacharit, the whole entire time you're sleeping, what happens? You're getting your bank account, another dollar, another dollar, another dollar, another dollar. You're getting mitzvot every single second.
What if you don't go?
What do you mean if you don't go?
You don't go to the Shacharit.
Yeah, that you have to work
It
on.
depends if you really want it. If
Exactly.
you just overslept, you're like, man.
Yeah, but if it happens, every other day, I think we're running into problems. So a person has to do everything he does. He has to do it l'shem shamayim. Just like everything was made out of one block, we have to make everything in our life like one block. Everything is just for Hashem. Everything I do it to serve Hashem. Vasita neotea shiva. And finally, we conclude with the construction of the menorah. It says make 7 nerot, 7 lamps. Why are there 7 lamps? It's coming to teach us the lamps are where the fire came from. They were the top. Fire is the representation that when we do mitzvot, when we serve Hashem, when we're doing even the physicalities, we have to do everything with simcha ubitov levav. We have to do it with happiness. We have to do it with all our hearts. We don't just come into Shachrit. You see some guys come in the morning to shul, sad, depressed. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. He leaves depressed. He goes to work, he's depressed. You call him FaceTime at work, he's sad, always frowning. Everything he does, he's just... I know, like, people, when they're just still, they don't smile. You have to learn how the first thing you do is just smile. Someone calls you on the phone, you smile. You always have to show your happiness towards others and inside yourself as well. Hashem wants us to everything we do, have to do it out of joy. And I don't say this, he said it, Zehu ikar gadol neshama. This is a great importance to the neshama. The neshama doesn't need the Torah mitzvot when you do it It wants your Torah mitzvot when you do it with happiness. Simcha. When you do something of happiness, it stays. It gives an engravement into the neshama. The same goes the opposite, I heard. If you do a sin with happiness, that sin is going to need a lot more to clean it.
Wow.
Because just like when you do a mitzvah with happiness, it stays inside of you. When you do a mitzvah, you felt it. You felt the joy, the simcha in it. It stays with you. When you do that sin with simcha, when you sin against Hashem and you do the aver with happiness, it's going to stay inside of you and it's going to be much harder to do teshuvah. So this is what the fire is representing. The fire is representing we have to illuminate our lives with happiness. And kol ma shebesegel adam ma'asim tovim. Ukeneged hashvim shana sheyeh chayav adam. Now why 7? Because we know everyone says live to 120, live to 120. But what does Tehillim say? How long does a person live for? 70 years old. Average person, 70 years old. That's what it is now. There's 7 decades of a person's life. The 7 lamps on the menorah represent the 7 decades of your life. And you have to take these decades of your life, and when you're serving God throughout your lifespan, you have to be me'ir al ever panea. You have to illuminate toward its face. That's what the menorah says. What's it teaching us? Everything you're doing, you have to illuminate towards your own face. You have to bring out that smile. You have to, when you're doing the Torah, you have to smile. You have to be happy. And with that, you're making your neshama illuminate. You're making it spark. And we have to do this to neshama. We owe it one. Because the neshama, if it wasn't inside of us, we wouldn't be here today. The only reason we're alive is the neshama gives us that sustenance. It gives us the light to be alive. So just like the neshama gives us the light in our bodies have to reciprocate it, and they have to give the light to the neshama. And how do you give light to your neshama? You do Hashem's mitzvot be'simcha. You do it with happiness. This is the menorah. Somehow, the psukim start going into the utensils of the menorah. And it even says, the utensils have to be full gold. So like apparently I heard Donald Trump's plane has everything 24 karat plated gold. I don't know if this is true. Everything 24 karat plated gold. Everything. The spoons over there, the doorknobs, the bathrooms, the toilets, everything. It's gold. It's the same thing with the menorah. Everything that was used for the menorah was gold. The spoons were gold. The little tongs that they used to pick the wicks up were gold. Everything was gold. Why is gold? It's coming to show us that even when we're in the business world, we're doing stuff that have really nothing to do with the menorah. Nothing to do with the spirituality. We still have to do it pure gold. Zahav tahor. Fully the right way with emunah, honestly. Not cheating people in business, scamming them, doing this, doing that. People, they go in shul, they're one thing, and they go to work, they're something else. When they're doing Torah and they're learning and they're doing mitzvot, they're tzaddikim, they're reading Zohar in shul. I see these people, it's crazy. And then out of nowhere, you go to, I don't want to say names. You go to these certain streets and you see people with no kippahs and they're totally different people and they're cheating people left and right. Oh, you heard what this guy did to me. The menorah is teaching us a lesson in our life. Even the spoon of the menorah that was used to pick up the ash, even that was pure gold. Everything has to be done without the chilul Hashem. Everything has to be done from Hashem. And Hashem finishes off and he tells Moshe Rabbeinu, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't know how to build the menorah. The only way he knew how to build the menorah was when Hashem gave him a 3D picture. He made a fire in the shape of the menorah and he showed it to him on the mountain. And he said, like this you're going to see it, like this you're going to make it, and you're going to maintain it like this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded Moshe, you're going to make the menorah, don't start changing things up. You got to keep the menorah like this. The way it's built, all the designs, everything must stay. Comes a lesson for us. Hashem, we said the menorah is the neshama. Hashem gave us our neshamot. He showed it to us on day one. And He says, the way I'm giving you your neshama, pure, holy, in the state of perfection, I want you to return these neshamot pure and holy. After 120, we're all going to come back to Hashem. We don't want to come back to Hashem with black neshamot. It was gold. Now it's black. We don't want that to happen. We want to come back with the exact way Hashem gave it to us. We want to give it back the same way. We all do sins. We all do averot. But there's teshuvah. You could still polish the gold. You could sometimes it's so dark, you have to even burn the gold. That's why we have Gehenna, that's why we have suffering in this world. Sometimes you're going to have to burn the gold to get it back to the perfection. Right? How do you do gold, right? How do you perfect the gold? How do you refine gold? You have to put it through extremely hot things. So if we don't want to go through the suffering in this world or in the next world, what do we have to do in this world? We have to start doing the teshuvah. We have to start doing forgiveness. We have to say, Hashem, I'm sorry for all the sins we're doing. We're going to fix ourselves. But you don't just jump. You don't just start doing everything. That's not the way it works. Slowly by slowly. And one day we're going to reach that state of perfection. And we're going to be able to go back to Hashem who lent us our neshamot. And we're going to be able to return it to Him in the state of perfection. Baruch Adonai La'olam. Amen. Amen.